Next point, second point already we have discussed, that is the ligands there, how to name them. Now order of naming ligands. So in which order the ligands has to be named. So that is what the heading means. So the ligands has to be named in an alphabetical order. Alphabetical order. Ligands has to be named in alphabetical order irrespective of their charge. So we need not to bother about the charges there. So it is -2, -4, -3, -1, whatever it is, irrespective of charges. So only with the alphabetical order, the naming order of ligands has to be named. We shall take one example so that it will be easy for us to understand. We have a complex, cobalt complex, NO2, NH3,4, and it is a plus. So now the ligand, the names are, so the name of this one should be, it is chloride. Cl minus is chloride, but in coordination compounds we have to name that one as chlorido. And what about NO2? It is NO2 minus, so that is nothing but nitrito N. Nitrito N. Next one is NH3. NH3 name is amine. The name of the ligand is amine. So the order of the ligand becomes, order of the ligand will be according to the alphabetical order. It comes first. It is amine first, it comes. Then chlorido comes. Then it is nitrito N. Nitrito N. So name we are not going to write because when few more rules are there to write the name of the central metal atom. Few more rules we need to find. So for that reason I am keeping that one thing pending. Later we'll discuss that one. But this should be the order of ligands. So first amine will come, then chlorido will come, then it is nitrito N will come. So this is about the order of naming the ligands. That is alphabetical order. Next, cobalt and amine, aqua, that is H2O, and Cl3. So in this the ligands are amine and aqua here. Amine, AMMINE, amine, and aqua. It is both starts with A only. So if at all, if the name is starting both with the same alphabet, so at that time the next letter we are going to check. The next letter, if at all, if it is being checked, M comes first, then Q in the alphabetical order. So amine, the name should be written first, and then aqua should be written. So remember always, so usually whenever it is being given, the names will be given according to the IUPAC nomenclature. But the formula may or may not be in IUPAC nomenclature. So that's why remembering the rules and writing that one is very, very important. You can observe in this formula itself. So actually amine should come first, then chlorido should come, then nitrito should come. But in the formula, they have just jumbled the ligands and they have given. So that's why always remember, when we are writing the nomenclature, don't follow the formula as it is. So check the ligands, check the alphabetical order of ligands, and then start writing the names. But when writing the formulas, the name usually will be, you need to check there also. But the thing is, the name usually it will be in IUPAC order only. So writing the formula as it is, just like the name doesn't doesn't makes you doesn't make any mistake there. But here it is not like, here they may give the jumbled things like this. So at that time you need to analyze the things, you need to check the alphabetical order of the ligands, and then you have to name that one. So here both the ligands start with the same letter. First letter is same. So at that time we'll be checking for the next letter, where M comes first according to alphabetical order. So amine is the first ligand in the order of naming the ligands. Amine comes first, then comes aqua. Next one, so it is amine again. Amine. This is chlorido, and this one is methylamine. The name is methylamine. So alphabetical order. These are in the alphabetical order only. Amine first, then chlorido, then it is methylamine. So this is about order of naming the ligand. So the ligands has to be taken. Its name has to be name has to be remembered or recalled, and those names according to the alphabetical order it has to be arranged. So next we'll move on to the numerical prefixes. That is fourth point. Order we have seen. So naming the ligands we have seen. Order of naming the ligands also we have studied. Next we'll move on to the prefixes. Numerical prefixes for ligands. Fourth one. Numerical prefixes to indicate the number of ligands. So observe this one properly. Already we have come across with bit complex things only, but observe this one properly, and it is very, very important in naming. So numerical prefixes to indicate the number of ligands. So suppose if at all, if this is the complex, we have a ligand, only one type of ligand, that is nothing but it is an homoleptic complex. Homoleptic means homo, same type of ligand we have, but that ligand is more than one. The ligand is more than one. Then, so if at all, if it is 2, if this is 2, let us consider as n here. So if n is equals to 2, then we are going to use to this numerical value, we are going to use the word as bi. If n is equals to 3, then we are going to use the prefix as tri. If n is equals to 4, then we are going to use that one as tetra. If n is equals to 5, then we are going to use the prefix as penta. If n is equals to 6, then we are going to use the word as a hexa. So these prefixes are very, very important. So in case of ligands, so first the ligand name should start with these words, then followed by the name of the ligand. Suppose we'll take up one of the example. So this is the complex where we have only one type of ligand, and we have the number as 6. That is nothing but n, number of ligands as 6 we have. So the name we are going to write for the ligand, the name becomes hexamine. 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 Likewise, if at all, if it is so 2 we have, if at all, if it is like this, if this is the complex, this is one example we have taken and this is two. So second example we have used. So if this is the case, then what is the name we are going to get? We shall see there. Observe. So we have Cl and we have NH3. NH3, the name of what a ligand is amine. Cl is chlorido. So amine comes first according to the alphabetical order. So already we have discussed in our previous points. So amine comes first and then chlorido according to the alphabetical order. How many amine groups are there? 4 groups. If it is 4, the name should start with tetra. So it is tetramine. Tetramine followed by 2. We have 2 is nothing but bi or di. Di we are going to give a preference. So it is dichlorido. Tetramine dichlorido. So this space is not sufficient. So that's why I'm going to write it here. Dichlorido. So this is how the name of the ligand, we are going to write it. Tetramine dichlorido. So this is about the naming or numerical prefixes to the simple ligands. Simple ligands we have seen. So for simple ligands, that is monodentate ligands it is. So simple ligands, we can use the prefixes like this. Suppose if at all, if the ligand itself is with this name, that is, let us consider an example, that is En thrice and it is 3 plus. So here En is nothing but ethane. IUPAC name only I will be writing. Ethane 1,2 diamine. Already in the name di is there. Then at that time this 3 you cannot write it as tri. So for that reason what we are doing is, so we are using, if it is 2, if n is equals to 2, the name we are using as bis. If n is equals to 3, if n is equals to 3, then we are naming the using the name as a tris. So observe, in the complex, in the ligand, if in the name itself, in their common name itself, if a di, tri, such kind of things are there, then we are going to use the number of ligands. These are nothing but number of ligands. The number of ligands to be mentioned as bis, or if 2 is there, then it is bis. If 3 is there, then it is tris. So we'll try to name this compound. Try to name that particular compound. We'll take this is extra part. We are going to write the name of this one. That is so the ligand name should come first, and it is followed by the cobalt, or followed by the metal central metal atom or ion. So we have 3 here. In the name itself di is there, so this 3 has to be mentioned as a tris. So it is tris, and the ligand name will be written inside the bracket. So the name of the ligand is ethane. Ethane 1,2 diamine. 1,2 diamine cobalt. And the oxidation state of cobalt is 3. So that oxidation state of the metal has to be mentioned within bracket in Roman numbers itself. So since it is an ion, so we are ending the name with ion. We are ending the name with the ion. So tris ethane 1,2 diamine cobalt 3 ion. So we are writing the numerical prefixes to indicate the ligands. If at all, if it is a simple ligand like this, then the numbers for the ligands will be, we are going to use this one. So that is for 2 di, 3 tri, 4 tetra, 5 penta, 5 it is penta, and 6 it is hexa. Suppose if at all, if the ligand is a complex ligand and in the ligand name itself, so it is not like it should be a complex ligand or polydentate ligand. So, but in the ligand, the name should consist, if it is consisting of di, tri, such kind of prefixes are there, then the number of those ligands will be mentioned. If n is equals to 2, if 2 is the number, then bis. If 3 is the number, then it is tris. Then that number, that indicating that number should be written outside the bracket, followed by the name of the ligand within the bracket. And then if at all suppose other ligands are there, we are going to write according to the according to the alphabetical order, we are going to write that one. And then followed by the central metal ion. So central metal ion, always remember you should mention the oxidation state of central metal ion. So within the bracket with in the Roman numbers itself. So for this one more example we'll take, that is NiCl2 pH3, and it is twice. So this is the complex. So it is a neutral complex now. So if it is a neutral complex, it is a neutral ligand. It is a neutral complex. So you need to calculate the oxidation state of nickel, X plus 2, each one with -1 charge. It is a neutral ligand. So 0 is equals to 0, no charge. So X is equals to +2. The charge on the central metal is +2. So the name becomes now. So it is the name of this, that is PPH3, is nothing but it is triphenyl phosphine. The name is triphenyl phosphine. So already in the name tri is there. So in that case, this 2 has to be mentioned as bis. So the name is this one. This is chlorido. This is triphenyl phosphine. So the alphabetical order, according to the alphabetical order, chlorido comes first. So what is, how many chloride ions are there? How many Cl- ions? We have 2 Cl- ions. So the 2, this 2 we are going to write it as di. This 2 as a di we are going to mention. Dichlorido. How many these ions? 2. So it should be mentioned as bis triphenyl phosphine. Triphenyl phosphine. There the name, it has to be continued with, it has to be continued with nickel 2. So the space is not sufficient, I am writing at the end nickel, and the oxidation state is 2 there. So nickel 2 ion. So this is about the numerical prefixes to indicate the number of ligands. Dichlorido bis triphenyl phosphine nickel 2. Since we don't have any charge on the complex, we are not going to mention here as ion there. So here and all we were having the charges, so that's why the name is ending with ion there. Here no charge, so that's why with the oxidation state of the metal itself we are ending.